Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Shipman and I'm one of the assistant principals at Erasmus Darwin Academy. I have the privilege of welcoming you to EDA and being part of our EDA community. This year has been difficult for lots of different people, and I'm sure all of us have been affected in the last 12 months by so many different things, and we want to get the transition experience right for you and the Year 7s joining us in September. Year 7, future Year 7, we are so looking forward to meeting you. We are so looking forward to you becoming part of our EDA family, and we want to get it right for you. And so today I just wanted to update you on what we're going to be doing and some important information for you and your parents as we start this induction journey together. Today, on Monday, the 14th of June, I've had the great opportunity of meeting so many different students, and that will continue over the course of this week. And so today, I just want to talk to you about some of the really important things that are coming up and to just give you that flavour of what life will be like at EDA, as well as some important information. So first of all, as I've just mentioned, this year we've had to move a lot of our usual experiences around, and I can confirm that today we are going to be presenting something to you that we do believe will be our final offer. We don't believe that this will need to change anymore, and it will be a blended approach. So some of it will be online and some of it will be based in bubbles, face-to-face interaction in school. I want to reassure you that it's been approved by the senior leadership team that we will have a full induction experience in September, and that date is September the 2nd. So on September the 2nd, all Year 7s will have an induction day that would be similar to the experience that they would normally have around July time. We hope that the familiarisation sessions in July that I'm about to mention to you will go ahead, and we're going to do that as safely as possible. Some of our usual procedures have been amended to reflect guidance, but I am going to talk to you very much about what life will look like in September, hopefully beyond the restrictions that we're now currently under. When we think about what's happening in the coming week, as I've mentioned, I will be visiting all primary schools, and I've met the vast majority of students. I'm over halfway through now in terms of the visits, and allow them to ask any questions. And it's been so lovely, those of you who I have had the pleasure of meeting, of interacting with you, of answering your questions, of seeing that you're so excited to look forward to PE, to science, to maths, to rugby, to all sorts of different things, to art, to history. You know, you are so looking forward to coming to EDA, and we are so looking forward to having you in our school. We're also going to be sending a letter this week as well with some important information, financial information linked to WisePay, summer school registration, and then the all-important which house you'll be going into. So a letter will be sent from the house principal confirming which house you will be going into. If you have a brother or sister who is currently at the school and will be next year, it is very likely that you will end up in the same house as them. And if that's not the case, then please get in touch, because that is our usual procedure unless we're notified otherwise. If you don't have a brother or sister here, then it is going to be a bit like the hat in Harry Potter, and you will be told what house you are going into. Being in a house is really important in our school, because not only does it give you your identity with the colour tie, but it also means that you have a dedicated team of teachers and professionals working with you to make sure that you are pastorally and academically achieving. When we think about key events coming up, so as I've mentioned, we're going to take a blended approach this year. So next Tuesday will be the next face-to-face meeting, and that will be a greeting from the house principal that you are going to be associated with. And there'll be a number of videos put up, and you will click on the right video appropriate for you. And then you will have a chance to meet your house principal and student support manager. And they're going to be really important for you, and addressing to parents, really important for you to contact as well, parents and carers, in the event of any questions. These are key people in your child's life. And alongside a tutor who will take the register every morning, actually, these are going to be the people that are going to make sure that your child is happy and settled at EDA, as well as keeping up with the work and making that excellent progress that we want for all. On this date as well, we're going to upload presentations from Mr. Maydew, Mr. Walklake, Mrs. Barton, in their role as the senior leaders, as it were, the principal, the head of school, and the deputy head of school, as well as Mrs. Stevenson, who is the director of finance. And obviously, with things like uniform, buses, and the like, it's really important that you know who that person is as well. When we think about the visits, so face-to-face visits, we do believe that despite an impending announcement to delay the unlocking, as it were, we do think we can manage the following in a safe way. So we are going to have one opportunity for students only. Unfortunately, we cannot allow parents on site at this time, but for students in their class bubbles to have a tour around the school and to meet some teachers as well, just to get a flavour of what the school is like. And so these dates are now set. And so I would like to inform you of the following. We are going to be having an orientation session from 2:30 until 4 o'clock on Friday, the 9th of July. And we are going to invite around half of our cohort to that event. On Monday, the 12th of July, we are inviting 3 specific schools that make up the other half of our year group. And these are 3 of our larger feeder schools. So students of Ridgeway Primary School, students of Foltham Primary School, and students of St Joseph and St Teresa Catholic Primary School. You are going to be invited in on Monday, the 12th of July. The reasoning for all of this separation is to make sure that people stay in their class bubbles. When a student is unaccompanied and they're on their own, they will be kept socially distanced from someone else who is also in the same situation. So no one is alone. However, where there is a class bubble, we obviously will maintain the rules that the school have presented to us in order to keep a child safe and to ensure that they can re-enter the classroom the next day. When we think about the visits coming up, we will make additional car parking capacity available on the site, so you'll be directed to park and you can just drop your child off, and there will be teachers waiting to show your child where to go. It goes without saying, obviously, that if your child chooses to attend, and we obviously want them to attend, they must not attend if they have any identified COVID-19 symptoms, including a cough, loss of taste and smell, or a fever. If they've been told to self-isolate, it is very important they do not attend because that would be breaking the guidance issued. And as I've just mentioned, visits will take place where possible in school bubbles. Face masks will be worn by our staff, and the option to wear a face mask for Year 6 is there. So Year 6, if you want to wear a face mask when you're moving around the building, that is fine because that is still in line with our advisory notice to our students at this time. Students have the option of wearing a face mask. Moving on to summer school. And the summer school we're really excited about because you will have left primary school by that point and you can form your own year group bubble, which means that we will no longer need to maintain the social distancing that will take place at the earlier event. And it's a 5-day event that's aimed at promoting positive well-being, trying out new activities, engaging in some catch-up learning and preparing you students for September. There is going to be a separate registration document. We've been so overwhelmed and are so thankful that so many parents have got on board with the summer school, and the expression of interest which so many of you have completed via the MyEd registration form just tells us that this is something that's a really good idea. We do need a bit more details. We need things like dietary information. We want to get hoodies for all the students. And so there are some practical bits of information we will need to complete. And next week, there will be an opportunity for you to enroll formally via this web page that you've accessed this presentation on. And a separate registration document will be uploaded and will need to be completed by parents by Monday, the 28th of June. By Wednesday, the 30th of June, I have to inform the government how many students and the names of the students attending. So it's quite a tight turnaround. So please, if you can, as soon as that's available, which it will be by next Tuesday, please register if possible. Thinking about a couple of practical things, I'm aware that a couple of parents may have these key questions about uniform. So our uniform is exclusively supplied by Crested Schoolwear. Crested Schoolwear have a website where you can order online, but they also have offices and shops in Cannock. And so therefore you have the opportunity to either attend a face-to-face appointment, and I would ring in advance to make sure that you have a slot available and that there is sufficient capacity for you to attend in person if you need to try out uniform, or order online. I do believe that there is a returns policy where if it doesn't fit, that it can be returned as long as it's obviously in as new condition. The things you must buy from Crested Schoolwear is a blazer, house tie, and the option of the EDA jumper. Those are the only things in terms of main school uniform, which a student will wear every day, that you must purchase from Crested Schoolwear. White shirt, black tailored trousers, which are non-stretch, black socks, formal shoes, they can be bought from anywhere. It is important to note, I apologise, I've just seen a slight typo. The academy skirt is also something you need to buy from Crested Schoolwear as well. Thinking about other important bits of information, a number of you have expressed that you wish for your child to attend by school bus, which is absolutely fine. We prioritise Year 7 in terms of making sure that they have a seat on our school bus. So therefore, it is always quite a quick turnaround to express that interest. You should receive your Wise Pay login and the house that your child's going into by Friday of this week. So Friday, the 18th of June. And so you have a 5-day turnaround to express and almost guarantee your child a seat on the bus. After this time, we may not be able to guarantee this, but we know that there are some families that are dependent on the school bus. So if you have not received the information by Monday, the 21st of June, please contact us because we will need to make sure that we have that information for the school bus. Normally on an induction day, there would be the option to buy a lunch. However, this year we will provide all catering for students prior to September. So there is no need to load up a student's card for any visits that are taking place this side of September. Thinking about the footwear, a couple of parents asked about the trainers, and I've just done a visual here, and we are in the process of doing a new parent handbook, which we will send home on the 9th of July that kind of embellishes this a bit more. But the kind of yardstick is for a formal event. So hybrid trainers are not something that we prefer, and we definitely don't want any branded footwear. So please factor that in mind when making your selections with regards to footwear of what is and what is not appropriate footwear. It should be comfortable, it should be durable. There's a lot of walking around the academy site during the day, and obviously we want to make sure that we keep your expenses to a minimum. Thinking about the PE kit, again, there will be more embellishment next week in the presentation, but the most important things that you need to think about is the EDA PE top, which is something that you purchase from Crested Schoolwear, EDA socks. There is the option of an EDA hoodie. However, we're working on the idea that the starters week, the summer school, will constitute a hoodie. We're just finalising the designs of that now. And then black shorts, but they don't have to be EDO logoed. And more information will be shared with that next time. There is something that I think a number of parents are concerned about, which is if your child has a medical need. It's important to note that Erasmus Darwin Academy does not have a trained nurse on site. We do have some first aiders, though, to attend to any medical situations as the first point of contact. In the event that your child is hurt and needs further treatment, we'll contact home and ask for you to collect the child. And obviously in a medical emergency, we will always dial 999 first and then contact parents. If you have a family situation where it's important to let us know about medical information, then you have had the opportunity to record that on the enrolment form, and we have those details already. However, as July kind of folds and as we get towards the end of term, we will chase up where there are where a serious medical plan needs to be in place. We don't issue paracetamol and ibuprofen on demand. It is important that a parent takes responsibility for this, and obviously prescription medication is kept securely and your child can collect it if they need to take it during the day. We cannot just accept medicine. A medication administration form where we are fully aware of how this should be administered should be returned in preparation for September. And as I've just mentioned before, where a child has a medical condition that's going to affect their day-to-day experience, a parent will be required to complete a medical action plan, which we will then follow in the event we need to. Now, just coming to the end then, so I just want to briefly speak to you about the house system and the three houses. So green tie is my house, Wimbledon House. Blue tie is Twickenham House with Mr. Maddox, and red tie is Ascot with Mr. Foster. And you will find out in the coming days what house your family is aligned to. There is some more information, but I just want to summarise with this. So the more information will be shared with relationships with different tutors and stuff next week. But for this week, I just want to reassure you that we want to actively engage with parents. And at the bottom of this presentation, if you are watching live, you can submit your questions and they will be responded to in real time. If it is a frequent question, I am preparing a frequently asked questions document that I will send out to all parents that comes off the back of today's event. School day is something that I have put in a booklet to your child that many of you have now got. But essentially, we are aiming to return to our pre-COVID times of 8:40 in the morning, meaning drop off by 8:35 and finishing at 3:05, except on Wednesdays when we finish at 2:35. In terms of how parents can get involved, we are very much hoping that we have the opportunity to chat to you and get to know you. So in October, we hope to have a Year 7 information opportunity where you can have a chat with your child's tutor to see how they're settling in. And that will take place in the first half term. We have not calendared specifically the date yet, but we are hoping a parent consultation evening will take place in spring 2022 to discuss academic progress with subject staff. And normally we have an online booking system. Of course, this is subject to how the guidance pans out over the next few months. And we are always looking for opportunities for parents to get involved in our parent forum where you can give your feedback on new initiatives and the like. And we are planning to relaunch this. It's kind of been remotely this academic year because of obviously the circumstances, but we're hoping to return to face with that as soon as we can. I think that might be everything that I need to talk about. And obviously, we will now respond to questions that are sent to us via the chat, via the question box below. So that leads me just to say that next week you'll meet your house principal, who will work with your child through and is responsible for the overall well-being of your child at the academy. And they are a key person. And so that is really pertinent that the next step and appropriate that the next meeting we have is with that very person. Thank you very much for listening and have a lovely evening.